In the introductory video, I showed you that the program asks me my name and I give it my name and it says, oh, hello, and repeats my name back to me. So that's what we're going to learn to do first. But in order to do that, we need to learn some basic, very straightforward computer science concepts that you can demonstrate quite quickly in Python. The first one is output. So Python is a text-based language, and you want to be able to output messages to the user. So you want to be able to say things to them, let them know what's going on sort of inside the program. And we use the word print, followed by two straightforward brackets. Now that's actually what we call a function in computer science, and all for the matter, that's a built-in function within the Python language. So print prints information, it outputs information to the user. And I can write hello, and if I run that, that is a very simple one-line program. It says hello. I could do another statement underneath. I could print goodbye, and I could do another simple line. I could print oh, you're still there. And what it would do is it would sequentially print each of those phrases. So that's what we call flow of execution as well, the order within which things are carried out. Oh yeah, the flow of execution, really exciting word there, execution. It just basically means getting stuff done. All right, it's not as bloodthirsty or kind of medieval as it actually sounds. Knowing computer scientists, they use words like execution to make something quite mundane seem really exciting, because that's what they do quite a lot. Okay, so flow of execution, we've got three outputs, one after the other. So we've got the output hello, output goodbye, output oh, you're still there. And that's how we use the print function. We can also use it to do some simple maths. I might as well just show you that quickly. So we can print 4 plus 4, and we get 8, because 4 plus 4 is 8. Do you notice I've not used speech marks there, because these are numbers, or what we call integers, and they don't need speech marks. We could type 4 times 5. We know the answer to that will be 20. And there's some really cool math stuff that I'll do another set of tutorials on later sometime. So we can output strings, which is hello there. That's a string. It's a string of characters. We can also put 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 as what we call numeric string characters. They're not actually real numbers. They don't get treated mathematically like the ones I just used a minute ago, but they get output nonetheless. Right, so that is how to output stuff. So that's great to give messages. You know, we can output a message to the user, and it does that there underneath, doesn't it? So we can see that happening. But what if we want to get information from the user and use it within the program? So that's kind of what I'm getting to. Well, we need to use something called a variable that we're going to store their name in. So the most simple thing we can do is type the name we want to give a variable. We can say username equals Bob. So we're using a string there, and we're saying that username is equal to the value of that string. If I print hello and put a comma after that and put username, it will say hello Bob. So there's two separate commands there in the flow of execution. We've got declaring a variable called username, and we're printing hello and the variable, and what we get is the actual value of that variable. What a variable is it's a unit of storage within, well, it's not a unit of storage, sorry, it's a bit of storage within the program. And what we're doing is we're basically saying to the computer when we run this program, look, can we have a bit of the RAM that we're going to temporarily name as username, and we're going to stick some stuff in it. What are we going to stick in it? Oh, look, here's an equal sign. We're going to stick this string in there. And then, so that's stored while the program's running. You know, it's using the computer's actual RAM, its primary memory, to store a piece of data. And then at any point within the program, if we use the print function, we can put some random strings in there first, and then we can use the name of that variable. We're actually going straight into the bit of RAM, the primary memory. We're fetching whatever's stored in there, and we're displaying it instead of displaying the word username. By the way, the word username doesn't have to be used. It's not like a special word or something that you need to use in programs. Variables can be called anything. I could call it burger. Alright, burger equals Bob. As long as I'm outputting burger, I'm fine. Right, and in the case that it's written in as well, lowercase. So if I do that now, hello Bob still. If I spell it wrong, the computer won't like that. It'll get really confused. Burger's not been, burger with two R's hasn't been defined. Of course it hasn't, because I defined burger with one R. I gave the variable a definition. I said that this variable is equal to a string that says Bob. Right? If I change that to Kevin, all I'm doing is I'm just storing a different value now inside of that bit of RAM that's been called burger, because that's what a variable is. When we say the word variable, we mean basically giving a name to a bit of RAM. Okay, there we go. That's not too exciting though, because we're kind of presetting the name of the user. Or not burger, let's just put username in again, alright? So username, otherwise we're going to get really confused, aren't we? If we say username equals Kevin, right? That's not exciting. The player's not going to really get an authentic experience. It's already telling them who they are. That might not even be their name. So let's get rid of that string and let's use a new feature of Python I'm just going to introduce you to here, which is a function, just like print, because print is a function. It's got brackets after a special word. We're going to use another special word, which is input. We're going to put two brackets after that as well. Now with the input function, you can put a little message in between the brackets telling the user a little clue as to what they have to type. So I'm going to write, please enter your name. Actually, as I'm building a quiz as we go along, I'll say, welcome to the quiz, comma, please enter your name. So I'm giving a little instruction to the user, making sure the speech mark's there, and those go inside of the brackets which are next to the name of the input function. So that's an input function. Now what we're telling the computer to do is give an input, so let the user type something in. Before that is an equal sign, which has got the name of a variable. So we're now saying that that variable will be equal to whatever the user types in here. And because that's now being stored in the computer's memory and accessed via this special variable by this name, if we output that special name later on, it will output whatever the user's typed in. I'll just demonstrate. So if I type the name Paul, it says hello Paul. If I run it again and type the name Dara, it types Dara. If I type in FN2187, I'm sorry, it was a geeky reference, but there you go. Hello FN2187. Right, if you've not seen Star Wars and you're doing computer science, shame on you. So there we go. That's how we use variables. The other thing is we don't need just one variable in the computer. We could write fave food. There we go. There's another variable. Input. What is your favorite food? All right. I think I put a comma there. Fav food is yuck. All right. So what's your name? Paul. And what's your favourite food? Pizza. Alright, I think pizza is yuck. See, it's storing something in a variable called fave food. They get to type something in there. I've typed the word pizza. It says hello username, and then it says I think, comma, fav food, comma, is yuck. Now notice I'm separating these bits out by commas. This is a string of text. This is the name of a variable, right? And this is another string of text. Remember, when we're outputting, the name of the variable gets replaced with whatever's stored in the variable. And what's been stored in the variable is taken from a user input in line 3. And the other variable is given a value in line 1. It's taken again from the user input. You can have as many variables as you want. They can be called anything you want to call them. You just got to make sure that if you're using them later on as part of an output, that they actually are spelled exactly the same way as you've declared them as at the beginning. Also, another good thing is it's probably a good idea to declare variables at the beginning of the program, but you can put them anywhere. I mean, I can just move this one here. There's no issue with putting them just before the output to do with them. You can stick them anywhere. So run this again. Paul chips. I think chips is yuck. Really bad grammar there, Python. Thank you. Right, so let's get rid of that anyway. So I've just showed you how variables work. So we've now got username. Welcome to the quiz. Please enter your name. Hello username. Okay. So that is the first section of the quiz that I've demonstrated in video 1. Getting the user's name, so you can keep reusing that throughout the quiz.